What's up, YouTube? It's Mike here. Today, guys, I just want to go over a quick overcap of the fact that Steve Jobs is no longer CEO of Apple. I would have my tripod, and if you know that the camera hasn't been shaky in quite a while in my videos, but this is a quick, urgent video. This is like breaking news, so I don't have time to set up, and I'm not supposed to be making videos because I'm sick, and it's just a whole mess, but I wanted to make this video because this is urgently important, and I put all my other videos on hold before I went ahead and uploaded this one, as I was supposed to upload a couple more today videos. So basically, about 2.5 hours ago, Steve Jobs sent a letter out to Apple, or Apple confirmed rather, that Steve Jobs would no longer be the CEO of Apple. Now, Steve Jobs has been with Apple for only, so many years, since like 1976, excluding the fact that he was kicked out in 1985. He's been with Apple for quite a while, so to see him go down the radar, I mean, he's not leaving the company. He's going to be like the top of the board. He's going to be like the board director. He's going to be like on the top of the whole board. So he's not leaving the company, and he's also going to be something like an Apple employee. I'm going to read the letter to you here on my iPad, so it'll make more sense to you, but he's just not going to be the CEO, and Tim Cook is replacing him. So before I say anything else, let me read you the letter. So Steve himself published the following letter saying, "I've always said if there ever came a day when I could no longer meet my duties and expectations as Apple CEO, I would be the first to let you know. Unfortunately, that day has come. I hereby resign as CEO of Apple. I would like to serve, if the board sees fit, as chairman of the board, director, and Apple employee, like I said. I believe Apple's brightest and most innovative days are ahead of it, and I look forward to watching and contributing to its success in a new role. I've made some of the best friends of my life at Apple, and I thank you for all the many years of being able to work alongside you, Steve." So that's I'm sure that a lot of people who are really attached to Steve, who've known Steve, almost want to cry reading that letter. And I'm being as serious as I can here because that's a lot to take in. I mean, this only happened, like I said, 2.5 hours ago, so that's a big thing. And this is going to be a big change for Apple. As if stocks may go down, I don't really think so, though. I don't think it's going to have that bad of an effect on Apple. I'm sure Apple employees are disappointed everywhere, and everybody's there's going to be a pretty big bite, bigger than the one that there currently is in the Apple. And some people, are making negative tweets on Twitter saying, now Microsoft, they can win, and, Microsoft can do this and that, and let's see how far the apple can fall from the tree. It's just, guys, chill. Steve Jobs obviously made this decision for a reason. He didn't have someone make the decision for him, and I'm sure he didn't want to do that. And plus, he's been on a medical leave quite a few months back, so I think not only does it have to do with this big change, but I think it also has to do with his health somewhat. So I know I'm an hour and a half late on this video, but I am sorry, guys. As I said, I wasn't supposed to upload any videos today. I was supposed to wait a little bit until I was ready, but this was urgent, and I wanted to get in touch with you guys as soon as I could. And I just want to say a few things. I mean, Steve, I'm not trying to say he's dead or gone or anything like that. That would be horrible, but at least he's still around, and at least he's still going to be working for the company. But I do want to say, thanks, Steve, for being, the best person at Apple. I mean, I remember when I was young and, when I began to get into tech, my dad would tell me about Steve Jobs and what he did and this and that, and how he was this big contribution to Apple. And, I started getting really interested in him, and I bought, magazines and read up on him, and I did my research on Wikipedia, and it turns out, he accomplished all this. Him and Steve Woz back in '76 co-founded Apple, and Steve, let alone Wozniak, Steve is the reason that Apple is what it is today, and it's the reason why we open up our MacBooks in the morning and make videos. That's my iPhone. And it's the reason why we're able to do such great things on the iPad, and it's the reason why we're able to make a call from an Apple device. It's it's hard to think about because there's so many people working with Apple and there's a design team, but Steve is the one who sees it all. Like, being the CEO of a company is something big. Like, that's the head of everybody. I know that you guys are probably going to be rude in the comments and be like, oh, Mike, it's not a big loss, you know. Like, CEO is a lot, and I feel, you know, as upset I am as the fact that he left, it might actually be a new beginning for Apple. Tim Cook is going to be taking over. If I didn't say that already, he's going to be the CEO of Apple. He was currently the COO or CFO. I think he was the COO. So now he's going to be top of the line as Steve requested, and Steve will move down. So, but again, I just want to thank you, Steve, for being, you know, for working so hard and making Apple as successful as it is. So guys, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave some comments below on your thoughts. Rate, give this video a thumbs up, and of course, click the subscribe button up top. More videos to come in the next day, guys. I still gotta get over vacation and recover, and then I'll be back to business. I need a break. Alright guys, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks again, Steve, and thanks again, viewers. Peace.